Hey guys, Loot Wizard here with another video on Gems of War, and in this one I'm going to be going over a tip for Guild Wars. Now, this tip involves doing test battles against a team that you're going to fight for real. And this is a really good way to find out which troops and team combos is going to work against that particular opponent. So, you need to go to your guild, go to Guild Wars, and then you will see who you're fighting. Now, today is green day, so if I want to maximize my points, I have to choose all 4 troops that have green in it. So you go to attack, and then you click on the opponent that you're going to be fighting. Now, I have the free scouting unlocked through VIP levels, but if you do not have that, that is fine. There is a 50 gold cost for scouting the enemy, and it's very cheap to do. So you need to scout the enemy, and that way you will be able to see the weapon that they're using and the hero class, and you will be able to see which troops. Now, let's go ahead and click on his weapon. It looks like he's using the Summer's Fury, which is damage to all enemies. He does have a fully leveled Warlord class, which can be very dangerous because he has deal triple damage, skull damage against burning enemies. Now, that makes it dangerous because Infernus burns all enemies on 4 and 5 matches, so he will do triple skull damage to me if he burns me, which could happen. So that's something to watch out for. He's got Megavore, and it looks like he has it fully traded, so there's that 8% chance to kill one of my last troops on the 4 or 5 matches. Then he's got this weirdo troop, which does scatter damage and then jumbles my team, which is going to be nasty. So, how do we do a test battle against this team without actually doing the battle? We can do it, and that is my tip for today. So we have to remember which weapon he's choosing, and then we have to remember the troops that he has. Now, this tip only works if you have the troops that your opponent does. So there is that kind of barrier between making this tip work and not. So let's remember there what he's got and in what order. And let's go back all the way to the main screen. Let's go to PvP. And let's go to defenders. Now, your defense team is how this is all going to work. So we need to modify our defense team and put in exactly his weapon and his troops, and then we're going to fight against it. Now, we won't get any rewards or anything, but this is all for testing out if we have a team that will have a good chance of defeating his team without actually doing the battle. Let's see. Here it is. Okay. Put that in top. Let's just use his class. Now, as you'll know, here I don't have a Warlord class that's level 100 like his, so the triple skull damage won't come into effect. So it's not a perfect replica, but it's pretty close. I think he was using the Proud Banner. Troops, he was using Infernus and then Megavore. Let's go in here, Infernus, Megavore, and then he was using that other weird jumble troop. He's using blue-brown. See if we can find it. Here it is, right at the top. Nice. So that was his team right here. Now, let's go back, and then we can test defense team. So there's basically his team over on the right-hand side, and then I can choose an all-green team. Now, I have a team that I used last time, and it worked pretty good for Green Day, which is Kraken, Jar of Eyes, Sylvana Mora, and Yoreli, the Mythic Troop. Now, the good thing that I have here, I'll just explain the setup here, and then we'll go into a test battle. Kraken I have at the top simply because it has a 35% chance to devour the last enemy when cast. It also does damage to the 2 last enemies, then it creates blue gems. Now, blue gems are important because it's going to fill up my Jar of Eyes. Also, if the Kraken devours the last enemy, it will gain a boost in all of its stats, attack, armor, life, and all that. So it will become more tanky. That's why I have it in the top spot. And if the Kraken dies, the Jar of Eyes weapon will summon All-Seeing Eye Troop to replace it. And then Jar of Eyes will explode brown gems, which will go to the brown on Sylvanamora. And I'm using Sylvanamora mainly for the Entangle, the first enemy on 4 and 5 matches. And then also it explodes gems in a column, and it also deals damage to all enemies, so those will be useful abilities as well. But Jar of Eyes also creates an Ice Storm when it's cast, because I have it fully upgraded, and therefore the blue gems will refill Jar of Eyes, and all the extra blue gems will go down to Ureli, my mythic troop here. Now, this mythic is really good because it deals true damage. For me, it deals 21 true damage to all enemies. And then it also poisons all enemies. It has an immunity to devour. And it also will summon a bone dragon. So I do have Jar of Eyes to summon a troop if Kraken dies. And I also have Ureli down there at the bottom to summon if that dies. Now, the trouble with this team here that I can already see is that with the Burning Skulls thing, and also with Megavore, because Megavore could take out my my last troop on 4 or 5 matches. So let's go in and do a test battle and see the success rate. We can do 2 or 3 battles and just see how many I win out of that amount of tests. And if I don't have good results, then I won't use this team against the real battle, and we'll have to find a different all-green team that works against this team setup. Alright, so let's see if we can get Jar of Eyes up quickly so we can explode the board and get some mana for the rest of my troops. Right there, it would have done triple damage to me. And even without triple damage, it still took out my Kraken, unfortunately. Now, let's see. It looks like I'm going to have to summon a Jar of Eyes troop here. Let's get our 4 match here first. Alright, we'll summon a Jar of Eyes troop. And let's see, we do have a skull match, but yeah, I guess we'll give it a skull poke. And as you can see, it's entangled now, so the skull damage will not be an issue. And I could either do damage to all enemies, or I could do the life. I think I'm going to do damage first to all enemies. And then Ureli is up. We're going to do damage with that. And then I'm going to cast, well, we do have a skull here first. Get rid of the hero. And I just want to be able to cast this to get life to all my allies. We'll go ahead and explode the board once again. And we'll give that a skull poke. We'll add life to my allies again. This is going to be a little tricky here because Megavore's really what's dangerous to me because of that last trait. Let's just give ourselves life again with the Jar of Eyes. Go ahead and explode the board. Give myself life again. And the other thing too there, Megavore submerges itself, and I just have damage to all enemies on Sylvanamora, and I have damage to all enemies on my Ureli. So whatever is submerged, it will dodge a damage all attack. So I'm pretty much going to have to just take out Megavore with skulls unless it doesn't have submerge anymore. It looks like I was able to take that out. Now I can use Ureli here to kill that one off. So the first battle went pretty good, but I think we should probably do one more battle. But I can do that on my own. that was just a test there to show you how you can do this and win more battles in Guild Wars by doing this. If you run into a really tough opponent, you can just come over here to your PvP defense team and just set up the team as you remember it and do a test battle against it until you find a good team that you can defeat it. Alright guys, thanks for watching, and later.